Hey YouTube, Ryu here. Yeah, I'm wide the fuck awake, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ramble for a bit about some random bullshit, and hopefully I can go ahead, get myself so worked up and angry and all that I tire myself out so I can go to sleep at a decent time. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about a comment made from someone whose comment for some odd reason is no longer there. But the whole, like, if you're sitting there and you're arguing against a guy who's talking about men's rights or, you know, men going their own way or something like that, and you sit there and you say accidents happen, wink, wink, well, at that point, it's not a benign thing, and unless you actually put the \S for sarcasm, guys are going to take that serious, because that's a very serious threat. The reason why it's a serious threat to guys is because that is something that women admit to doing. That more and more women admit to doing and are getting positive feedback for doing. So, and yes, Ellie was the one who made that comment. She tried to say that it was because she knows it's a societal norm and that sort of thing. It's not something that you're going to sit there and joke about with someone like me and expect me to ignore it. Especially when you're commenting on a video about gynocentrism, or about feminism, or anything along that line. Maybe you should back the fuck off. Now, she did it on the MGTOW, you know, where does the MGTOW get its drive video. And I'm sorry, that was one of the things that was there. And she assumes that I am dating a woman at this point, even though I have said in other videos showing that she's not exactly a regular viewer of my show or channel or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I wouldn't call it a show because a show requires production value. What you're seeing now is not production value. But anyone who's watched my channel will know that I haven't been dating for quite a while. I choose not to date. For one, the choices aren't exactly optimal, even for my current condition that I'm in. But then also at the same time, even if I did have a optimal choice, it's still a bad choice. Because the thing is, as she said, accidents happen. I've already fallen into that trap once. It's not happening again. I am not having sex again until I get, you know... Because those have already done their job. They've gotten me in trouble already. So yeah, no. We're good. But the thing is at this point, I'm not dating anyone, and yet she assumed that I was. And she was saying that if I'm not honest with the girl and say, oh, well, this is going absolutely nowhere, that I'm a hypocrite. You know, it's funny, that coming from a woman. Because, yeah, the problem is women very often, in fact, the vast majority of the time, will waste a guy's time. Either through monkey branching or just dating for fun and not telling the guy. She'll sit there, she'll be all like, oh yeah, I love you, da 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 da. And, yeah, no, it was all bullshit. So, I'm sorry, why should I feel guilty about wasting a woman's time? What, because she has a uterus? Because she has her own ticking time clock? And because I'm in the age range now where they're all like, oh yeah, give me a baby, give me a baby. Fuck you. Seriously, any woman that fucking says shit like that, fuck you. I don't care if your biological clock is ticking. I don't care if I'm wasting your fucking time. Y'all had no problems wasting my time in my younger years during my prime. So, why in the fuck should I have problems wasting you in your last minute, wasting your times in your last minute rush? Why? Why should I why should I have problems wasting your time? Because it's not fair to the women. Well, it's not fair to the guys. There's a lot that's not fair to the guys. And what are we told? Oh yeah, man up. So, woman up, get the fuck over it. Now, when it comes to people sitting there and trying to compare people who want downfall of society and all that to preppers, let's get one thing straight. Preppers typically don't want the downfall of society. They're prepared for if it does happen. In the unfortunate circumstance that it happens, they're prepared for it. Hence, preppers. You know who does want the downfall of society? Anarchists. Some terrorist factions. They want society to fail so they can go ahead and rebuild it how they think it should be. Some Democrats. But again, I already kind of covered that with some terrorist organizations. Some Republicans. Again, they want society to fail so they can rebuild it in their image. But the fact is I get so fucking annoyed at when you're prepared for something, people say, oh, you just want it to happen. No, I don't, but I see it as a very, very good possibility that this can happen. Anyone who's sitting there and looking, thinking that we couldn't easily be thrown into a civil war or easily thrown into World War III, you're a damn fool. Right now, the world is one giant powder keg ready to blow. People keep poking it with sparklers. Son of a bitch. But I just want to go ahead and bring it up. Being prepared for a bad situation does not mean that you're hoping for the bad situation to happen. A lot of people have that misconception, and I'm done. And it's not just with preppers. It's just with people who are either realistic or even pessimists. A pessimist doesn't want the bad thing to happen. They don't want that worst case scenario to happen. But they assume that it's going to happen. And the reason why they assume that it's going to happen is because what happens if the positive thing happens? They're pleasantly surprised. What if the worst happens? They're prepared for it. Now, what about an optimist? When the best thing happens, they're all like, oh, sweet, it happened. But what happens when the worst case scenario happens? Usually they're completely unprepared for it because they didn't even consider it. They didn't even think of it as a possibility. Like we all hop onto a plane. What do we think? Oh, the plane's going to get us from point A to point B. Might get us there a little bit late. Might leave a little late. Whatever. That's the standard train of thought. And that's a pretty realistic thought. Now, a pessimist is going to sit there and go, I hop onto this plane, there's a pretty good chance of someone getting on there with a bomb or something like that, and this plane plummeting out of the sky, and the last thing passing through my brain is my ass. An optimist is going to be all like, oh yeah, we're going to get there 3 hours early. Well, the optimist is going to be really fucking disappointed more often than not, right? Whereas the pessimist is going to be the one sitting closest to a fucking parachute. So if that worst case scenario does happen, the optimist is the one getting their ass going through their brain, and the person that was the pessimist is jumping out the side of the fucking plane before the bomb goes off. And everyone else is just fucked, but hey, it's a risk that you take when you fly nowadays. And like I don't know what you call him, Prime Minister or whatever of France said, well, it's just something that you have to live with. It's just a part of day-to-day life now. Seriously. Fuck people that sit there and say we have to accept terrorism as just a part of day-to-day life. No, we don't. There's plenty of things that you can do to fucking stop it. For one, how about this? Instead of sitting there, capturing these motherfuckers, putting them in jail for a couple of years so they can network in there, and then let them out and then send them back to their home country, where they get a fucking banquet in their honor and as many blowjobs as they want. How about this? Don't waste the government funds on it. Shoot them in the fucking head after keeping them in solitary. That pretty much ends it. Eventually you're going to whittle this number down. And they're not going to be networking, so they're not going to be growing as fast. You kill more than are joining, eventually it's going to go away. It's the same thing as with getting rid of roaches. You're not getting rid of all of them all at once. Not unless you use a bomb. A very big bomb. That makes it so you can't live in that area for a good long while. But you get rid of them all, but you're also killing off everything helpful, like all the spiders and so on and so forth. So there's negative consequences for doing it quickly. Well, they don't want to do it quickly because, well, people tend to get mad at you when you drop bombs. When you kill innocent civilians. I understand that. I mean, hell, if someone sat there and looked at Antifa and went, hey, it's primarily based in the U.S., and they started dropping bombs on the U.S. trying to get rid of Antifa, I'd be a little pissy. I'm pretty sure everyone in the U.S. would be a little pissy. Especially the people that are innocent. But here's the thing. We're now sitting in a situation where people don't want you to be pessimistic. They want you to be optimistic at all times. That's the fastest way to lead to an unhappy society. Is if everyone has pie in the sky expectations of life. Let's be realistic here. The vast majority of us are going to work our asses for the entirety of our life, never really get to fucking retire, and we're gonna die with our bodies worn the fuck out. We're gonna die an earlier death than what we would have died if we hadn't worked ourselves to death for the majority of our life. Alright? Let's just be fucking honest here. The vast majority of us are not going to become millionaires. The vast majority of us are not going to own some mansion. The vast majority of us are not going to be able to open up 5 successful businesses during our lifespan. A lot of people, for one, don't have that fucking drive. I'm one of them. I recognize this. 2, you have a certain level of skill that is required for these things. Whether it's starting up your own business or becoming an exceedingly good mechanic, whatever. There's a base set of skills that you have to be able to master relatively quickly early on in your life. A lot of us don't do that. We're fucking around in our youth. Again, I'm guilty of this. Do I have anyone to blame but myself? No. So, the vast majority of us are not going to end up being breakout successes. Let's Keep that in mind. What are the vast majority of us going to do? The vast majority of us are going to make a very small minority of us a fuck ton of money off of our hard work. But that's not saying that these motherfuckers didn't put anything in. They're the ones who started the shit up, or they worked their way up the corporate ladder, which usually means working the fucked up jobs, the fucked up hours, going well above and beyond, making sure that their name's out there. That's how you rise to the fucking top. You have to have a hell of a lot of drive if you're trying to get your way up to the top in a pre-established company. You have to have some motherfucking work ethic. Something that the average American really does not have. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about men, women, or any ethnicity, sexual orientation. It doesn't fucking matter. The vast majority of us don't have that drive. But hell, a lot of us don't have the drive to sit there and bring up facts. Because it's too much trouble. They don't want the social stigma. That's where I shine. I've never really had much of a filter. I just recently started posting videos for the fun of it. Just because. This is a whim for me. So, it's not even something that I'm doing for a career. This is part of me being MGTOW, is me making these videos because I enjoy making them. Well, I enjoy making most of them. Some of them I really don't enjoy making, and you can definitely tell when I don't enjoy making a video. But when I feel that it's something that has to be brought up. And like I've said in previous videos, this channel was supposed to be more about video games and technology and so on and so forth. You know, the things that I really like. And yet here we are talking the majority of the time about politics. I'm pretty sure that a lot of my subscribers, in fact, probably the majority of my subscribers, are either MGTOW or MRAs or, you know, people who really like to go to the zoo and poke the animals through the cage bars. Whatever. No problems with that. But the thing is that wasn't what this channel was initially supposed to be about. I mean, if you read the description, I say that it's ranting about whatever I want to rant about and video games. The reason why I specifically mention video games is because that was primarily going to be. Like, if you look at my first few videos, they're primarily about video games. You know, problems with the video game industry, problems with Pokemon Go, positive things about certain games, how to make certain games successful, you know, certain things in certain MMOs that I like, certain things in MMOs that I don't like, you know, things that I've noted that lead to success in this industry. But if you look at my channel, eventually that really started to go away. It's very rare that I actually post about video games anymore. And now it's more about politics. Now, I don't, you know, hate politics. I don't hate talking about politics. In fact, I typically talk more about politics than I do play video games. So, alright, I guess maybe it was a natural evolution of my channel. But the thing is it's led me to have a subscriber base, and I'm not bitching, guys. I love all y'all. Thank you so much for the support. But it led me to a subscriber base that's a little different than what I had imagined for my channel. In fact, one of my friends said I should start up a secondary channel and, you know, put a link to that channel, have all my video game videos on one channel and have all my politic videos on another channel. But, you know, there's going to be bleed over. You know, you're going to have people coming on my video game channel sitting there bitching about one of my politics videos because I didn't reply to them in the 0.5 seconds, and, you know, they're sitting there shakily, you know, jerking on their limp dick, you know, while swallowing down handfuls of fucking Ritalin with backer shots of fucking energy drinks. But the fact is you're going to have that bleed over anyway. So I figure, why separate out the content? Maybe I would get more subscribers, and then people, on the video game channel are all like, that's the wrong fucking channel. Get off this fucking channel. This is about video games. Stop talking about politics. Meh. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? I honestly want to know what my subscribers think on this. Would you like me to separate out my video game videos into a separate channel, so that way the ones who want to come here and listen to me rant about politics and basically get the most content that I produce, and not have to worry about a video game one popping up in your feed and you going, motherfucker, it's a video game again. Fuck. It's not him ripping into someone. Or would you prefer that I keep them both together, so that way, all the stuff that I'm talking about, and you don't have to subscribe to two different channels and go, oh, which one's which one's safe for work? The answer would be neither, because I'm sorry, I'm not going to censor myself for anyone, and if you want me to censor myself, you can go ahead and get fucked. But I honestly want to know, what would you guys prefer? I wish there was a way that I could do a poll on here, and I'm not going to get onto Twitter and do a poll there, because fuck that noise. And not to mention, I only have a few subscribers that actually actively engage anyway. So if they can't sit there and post a fucking comment in my videos, then they're not going to go over to some other media to take part in a fucking poll. Again, it's me being realistic here. I don't mind people subscribing and not commenting, but I just really wish that more people would comment, get in on the conversation, and don't be afraid to bring up if I get something wrong or something like that. But if you're saying that I have something wrong, please prove me wrong. Don't just say, oh, you're wrong, period, take that. Because I'm going to sit there and just look at you and possibly make a montage of people doing that fucking shit, going, alright, here's the idiot montage. Maybe I'll do that as a monthly thing or something if I start getting enough comments along those lines. Please don't start making a whole bunch of comments like that either. Please, I don't want to do that, because that's a lot of work. That's a lot of editing and so on and so forth. And then I'm going to have to sit there and find some appropriate royalty-free music, so I don't end up having a couple of videos having ads on there because someone else decided to copyright claim it and go, oh yeah, I want to monetize the shit out of this. Please don't do that to me, guys. Please. Because, obviously, yeah, I'm a fat ass. Guess what? That means I'm fucking lazy. Don't make me do extra work on this fucking channel. Come on. Because the thing is then all of a sudden, my amount of videos is going to go way the fuck down. But, honestly, everyone who's subscribed to my channel has been subscribed to my channel for a while. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Those of you who haven't made comments on any of my videos, please, 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 feel free to join in the conversation. And like I said, everyone, try to keep it civil. A little bit of shit posting here and there, whatever. I'm not going to get on you for it. You know the rules. I have the video up that, basically lays out the rules. Just don't really cross any of those, really broad lines, and you're good. I've actually only had to ban one person for breaking the rules. I've only had to ban one. And I think that's fucking amazing. Because I figured by the time I reached 30 subscribers, I would have had to have banned at least 15. So, I absolutely appreciate that, guys. Please keep staying civil. But also, please start becoming more active. I've got a few of my subscribers that are very active. In fact, someone made a reply video to one of my videos, and I absolutely love that. In fact, I need to make a reply video to that reply video. I've been putting it off because I really want to put in some effort there, because it seems like he really put in a lot of thought into it, and I don't disagree with the things he was talking about. In fact, I very much so agree. Apparently I need to work a little bit on when I am just sitting there and ribbing someone and I'm purposely doing something to ruffle some feathers, so that way people can actually see the sarcasm. I know sometimes it's hard with me because I guess I'm a little monotone when it comes to emotion. So sorry about that for any misunderstanding. And that gets exacerbated with the comments. Sometimes I'll sit there and say something, out of sarcasm, and people will take it serious. Honestly, yeah, I'm an asshole. I'll admit this. I really am an asshole. But even I have my limits on what level of asshole I'm gonna be. I'll shit talk just like anyone else. I'll sit there, I'll go out of my way to fucking hit you where it hurts if you've actually pissed me the fuck off. Or if you're trying to sit there and somehow hurt me and you fail so horribly, now I gotta school you on how to actually fucking get under someone's skin. But that's pretty rare. Alright, I usually save that for the lobbies in video games and such. But please feel free to comment on any of my videos. If I notice the comment, which I usually do, because like I said, I get notifications on my phone, and my phone's pretty much attached to my body at all times. So I'll get to it as soon as I can. If I don't reply to a comment, you might have ended up slipping through the cracks or something like that. I have the spam filter on. Does it always work? No, unfortunately. But it works pretty well, but also at the same time there is a downside. Sometimes your comments won't post to the video right away. Sometimes it takes me going in and manually doing it. And once I'm sure you're not a bot, like if it keeps sitting there and saying that you're spam, but you've got different comments and so on and so forth, I'll go ahead and I'll approve them. But just have a little bit of patience. I'm not sitting there and blocking you. Trust me, you will know if you are blocked, because your shit will never get onto my fucking channel. And usually the only reason why you would be blocked is if you were blatantly breaking the rules. Like the person that I blocked from posting on my channel, other than the bots, was blatantly breaking my rules. I mean, using racial slurs, using using extremely sexist fucking language. And you know me, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out where I'm coming from on that. For one, I don't need to give Google any more reason to sit there and shut down my fucking channel. But also at the same time, that's not conducive to a conversation. All that does is cause fights. And fighting is different from debating and arguing. Alright? Hell, Sargon even has that. He has his shit posting channel, and then he has his main channel. You can get away with a lot more as far as posting on his shit posting channel than you can on his serious channel. So, well, mine is basically more along the rules of his shit posting. But like Sargon, I even have my rules and I have my limits. Like if you're sitting there and saying that any type of genocide is okay, I'm going to block your comments. There have been a couple of people that have been teetering on that. But the thing is usually once I reply to them, that tone changes right quick and in a hurry, because they're all like, oh shit, this guy's actually active on his channel. But don't, just don't sit there and go too fucking overboard with shit. Or if you're sitting there and, doing a shit post, maybe putting brackets that it's a shit post or something. Just whatever. Give some way of doing it, because some people are completely tone deaf online, and if you don't have brackets saying shit post or a backslash with an S for sarcasm, they'll take it serious, and then they'll sit there and point to my channel, oh, this guy supports fucking hate speech and blah, 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 blah. He's such a fucking hypocrite. I don't need that fucking shit. Remember, I am not Verilus, and if anyone doesn't know who Verilus is, he at least was a prominent YouTuber as far as Pokemon was concerned. He still has quite a bit of a cult following, but that's all he fucking has. And he is synonymous with blocking people that just even calmly disagree with him, or even suggest that maybe there might be a slightly better way of doing something. Or that he might have gotten some information wrong, or if they can actively prove that he's got some information wrong, he'll block them. Me, I don't do that. If you send me some fucking information and I was wrong on something, I will admit that I was wrong. Hell, I might even make a video response saying, alright, my bad, I was wrong, I'm issuing a correction. Who knows, maybe I'll end up going in and editing in, something saying, dipshit alert, and then point to me with a giant fucking flashing dipshit while I'm saying what I got wrong. But, the thing is I'm not afraid to admit if I'm wrong. But also at the same time, you have to prove me wrong. I've said this before in another video, but I feel like I have to say it again because people haven't gotten the memo. And I don't understand how many times I have to fucking say this. But also at the same time, if there are fallacies that you are committing, I will find them and I will point them out. And if I'm sitting there and I'm asking questions that are hard to fucking answer, it's probably because I know they're going to be hard to answer for you, and it's probably because I am asking that question because it's going to be impossible without extreme mental gymnastics on your part for you to reconcile the answer that you really want to fucking give with your statements that you have made before. One of my buddies actually said that if he was to describe a conversation with me, it's like trying to work your way through a minefield where the mines are burrowing around and constantly moving. And you have no idea where they are. You think an area is clear because you just poked it with a fucking really long stick. You think it's fucking clear, and then you step, and nope, the mine's there now. He said that having an argument with me is the most deadly thing that he's ever fucking done. Obviously, he doesn't argue with me much anymore. Usually he figures if I'm saying something, I have a reason for saying it. Do I talk a lot? Yes, I do. I am not stoic in any way, shape, or form. Let's be completely fucking honest. I am not stoic. If I ever go silent in a situation, that's when you have to worry. As long as I'm making noise, you're fine. It's kind of like with a spider, Seeing a spider is not a fucking problem. Once the spider vanishes from your vision, that's when it becomes a really big problem. Well, it's the same thing with me. If I'm talking, I'm not an issue. Once I stop talking, yeah, that's when people around me start getting jumpy. But, yeah, I mean, and like I said, the point of this channel isn't necessarily to just rip into people. It happens a lot because there are a lot of people doing a lot of really stupid shit. And usually when I rip into someone, it's because I expect better from them. Because I know that they can deliver better. Like with Niantic, I know that they could have delivered better with Pokemon Go. As far as feminists are concerned, you can't have that much stupidity and not have an actual imagination. You just can't. They're not even trying to imagine things properly anymore. They're just fucking, the first thought that comes in their mind, they word vomit it out, and we're supposed to just accept it. No. I mean, in all honesty, let's just be real here. If I'm ripping into someone, it's usually because I see potential in them. And I see them actively either being lazy, which I know that kind of, fucks with some people's heads when I say when you're actively being lazy. But the thing is, there's a difference between lethargic laziness and active laziness. Active laziness includes, procrastination, expending more energy than you would have had to expend doing the thing that you're supposed to do than if you but you expend more energy to not do that thing. It's kind of stupid, but we're all guilty of that at some points. I mean, there have been some times where we've sat there and we've plotted to get out of something, and we spent more time plotting getting out of it and expended so much brain power to get out of this thing where it was so simple, like it would have taken us 5 minutes to fucking do. But we spent like half an hour to an hour planning on how to not do it. I mean, it's kind of amazing how people do that. I mean, I've been guilty of this in the past as well. Hell, I'm still kind of like that with homework. If I've got an assignment from class, oh shit. It's all like, I really don't want to fucking do it. I will find any excuse. But, obviously I'm not afraid to admit faults. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, do you guys want me to separate out the shit, or do you want me to just keep kind of hodgepodging it together and that sort of thing? Let me know in the comments. Yes, and this is the recap. Keep it civil. Don't go after someone that I'm going after. I don't need them sitting there going, oh, look, he's sending his few followers after me. What a pathetic loser. Don't give him the ammo, please. I mean, hell, I'm already the underdog in the fight. Just stop. We don't need 300 in the hot gates situation going on here. But, yeah. Also, if you're gonna sit there and you're gonna comment and say, oh, I think you're wrong, at least give me your reasoning as to why you're wrong. Like, even if you don't necessarily have proof, give me your reasoning, but make sure that it's not circular reasoning, because I'll sit there and pop that bubble with glee. At that point, that's the equivalent high that you get of sitting there and when you're a kid and you're popping bubble wrap. Yeah, I love popping those little bubbles. It's like, oh, fuck yes. Or those people who are addicted to popping pimples. Yeah, that type of shit. All right? I mean, if you're honestly sitting there and you have good intentions, I'm going to be able to tell, typically, if you have good intentions. But I'm also able to read through the lines, so don't sit there and try to post a little sideways look comment and think that you're going to slip it by me. Like I said, was raised around girls. Through the vast majority of my young life, I was hanging out with girls. I have an ear for that shit. So, don't do that shit. Will someone slip something past me every once in a while? Yeah. I ain't perfect. But I tend to catch a lot of that shit. And it takes a lot of people by surprise. But if I sit there and I go off on someone and it really seems like I'm going off way too much on them, maybe ask me what in their comment made me go off on them. What is my reasoning for it? Because I'm not just going to go off on someone. I'm not a rabid animal. I only go off on people when they give me a reason to. So, just go ahead and if you see something like that and you just cannot figure it out, ask me why. I'm not going to go off on you. But I will sit there and I'll explain. I'll even go ahead and probably quote in there something. You know, it's all like, I'll take a quote from there and go, no, here, reading between the lines, boom. And it's probably going to be an entire sentence. I'm not going to just take a section of a sentence. Or I'm going to sit there and say, the sentence was fine except for this. This is where I have an issue. And then I'll go ahead and do that. So that way people aren't saying, oh, well, he's quote mining. I'm not going to quote mine people. I don't have to. If you have to quote mine someone, then you don't have an argument worth listening to. That's the long and the short of it. And I actually have confidence in my arguments. So, alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to get myself some rest. But, honestly, guys, leave a comment. If you want me to separate out my video game videos onto a separate channel, I'll go ahead and do that. It'll take a little while. I'll go ahead and leave a link to my separate channel if I end up making one. Like, if you guys just really want to see that. Because I know that I have some subscribers that subscribe hoping for my video game content. And I have some subscribers that only subscribe for the political part of my content. So, if it'll be easier for you guys, I mean, yeah, it'll be a little bit more effort on my part, but I'm willing to do that for you. Because since I'm not putting in a whole lot of effort into production quality, I can at least, post videos to different accounts. I mean, that's the very least I can fucking do for you guys. I mean, especially with how much support you've been giving me. But yeah, go ahead, let me know. If I get enough responses and people sitting there saying, yeah, I want, I'm primarily for your video game shit, I want to go ahead and watch that, then go ahead, let me know, and if, a lot of you want that separation, then do it. If you're here strictly for my political videos, let me know. And please do the replies on this video, not on my other videos throughout my channel. Please don't make me bounce around from video to video, because that screws up my view thing, and it really sucks. Because I have a tendency to go ahead and check other comments that are going on in that video. So I actually click on the video and it puts up a view or something like that. And I don't like to do that, because then Google looks at my shit and goes, oh, well, he's trying to boost his numbers. No, I'm not. I don't care about my numbers. Although, I do have to say something. The fact that I have 10,000 minutes watched on my channel, I never expected that. So thank you very much, guys. I definitely appreciate that. I can't say it enough. I definitely appreciate all the support. If you think that you know other people who would at least be somewhat entertained by some of my videos, feel free to go ahead and share them. If you want to go ahead, post my videos onto, Twitter or something like that, or onto Facebook, feel free. I'm not going to come after you. Like I said, this is about starting up conversations. So I don't care if the conversation starts up on my channel, or if it starts up, people having a conversation on my videos on Facebook. Please, by all means, feel free to do that. MGTOWs, if you want to go ahead and post it on MGTOW.com or whatever site that you frequent, go for it. Reddit users, again, feel free. I don't mind. I'm not going to go after you. I'm not going to sit there and demand that the video be taken down. The only time I'll demand that a video be taken down is if they take a fucking soundbite and try to make it sound like I'm saying something that I'm not actually saying. It's the only time I will demand that a video be taken down. Unless it's funny, then I'll demand that it stay the fuck up. You know, if you want to sit there and make me sound like a fucking retard or something like that, by all means, please do it. I will have a laugh. Just at least send me the link. I will laugh my fucking ass off, and then I'll probably go ahead, post it on my channel, of a video of me laughing at the shit. Like I said, I don't mind criticism, and if someone wants to satire me, go for it. I love that sort of shit. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Please post in the comments. Feel free to forward shit. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe, or at least check out my other videos. See if maybe you'd like to go ahead and watch it. My videos typically don't go on for this long, personally. And then also at the same time, I tend to have more of a general theme to each of my videos. So, by all means, please go ahead and check it out. If you think that someone else would like it, feel free to share it with them. I'll talk to y'all later. Have yourselves a great night.